using this thing, but it won't. How would you say? It won't give you an accurate amount that you want there. So so that's why you make this box.
Give us accurate.
Yeah, accurate value result. You can count it with this, but it's not. It's really not. Really, it doesn't show us a very good answer for that. And then, okay, when you're generating this, okay, you have the box and you have the big box at the hand. When you're generating this, you want this front here to be more what do you call, like more, because your design was, see, it was smooth curve, right? But this one is like sharp. You don't want that. So how to make it smooth is by same thing, create parts, new part, but instead of doing the blocks, you should go for something rounder, something like a cylinder maybe.
Okay.
Okay, you put it in right at the point where it is. So the point was 0 because remember we designed it on the 0 point. So that's why it's on 0. This is just a radius. I'll just put 0.1 because I don't want it to be that big. So it's just about that size. So 0.1 is good. So the extrude part, remember the extrude was 0.1? You want to change that as well to 0.1. Okay, you've done that, you just create it. And then you have the cylinder there. Yeah. So what you want to put for that, because it's on the front, you can put it as rename it as a leading edge.
Why do you have to use the cylinder? For what exactly?
To make it round.
Not a shape, right?
Sorry?
You don't want like a shape on it.
Yeah, you want to make, because remember I said like you want it to be round. Okay, let's say F1. Okay, because this one is round, right? And this one is not. You see, it's sharp, right? So you want to make it round, something like this, a circle like that. So how do you want to make that? It's by using a round thingy. So if you use box, it will be still be sharp. Doesn't count anything. And then right now you already have boundary, which is the whole thing. Leading edge is the thing, is the front thing. Subtract surface is a small thing, and you have trailing edge for the big thing. Okay.
So we mesh it again.
Yeah, you have to mesh it, but first thing you have to put it into the mesh. Because right now the system doesn't know that you have this box. So how do you do that? You go to automated mesh for 2D just now. Go there, and then there's a custom control. If you open that now, there's nothing in there. So if you go right click, new, go for volumetric control. So do it again, because you have surface, you have trailing edge, and you have leading edge. So you have 3. So just do 3. Okay. Rename them all as so leading edge as an LE, trailing edge as an TE, and the volume. The other one is surface. You get right? You get that? Okay. So what you want to do is go there, and then go for the leading edge, open parts. Just click there, click on the leading edge. It will come out this parts, open parts, find leading edge. And okay, so the leading edge now is there. For trailing edge, it's the same thing, parts, and then go for trailing edge. Yes, same goes to surface. Okay, so now what you can do here is to control just on that part. So right now you are on leading edge. Okay, it gives you freedom to just control on that part, not everything. Okay. So, but first thing that you need to do is to go on surface, custom size, open all this. Just click, open this, 2D, click, prism layer, click, click, click. And then it will give you, okay, compared to this one, if you don't open that, you can't open the value, see? So with this one, you open that, so you open the value, you get the value. So custom size, relative. You go on values, custom size and relative. Okay, what this tell you is that right now you have the base size of 1, right? You have the base size of 1. So 1 is the everything here right now. So what this tells you is that this is 10% of that 1. So basically, when you mesh this, the leading edge will be 10% of the whole thing. So I'm just gonna put that in first, everything. I'm just gonna show you guys what's gonna happen if you put 10% on everything, and then okay, done that. So okay, we should know that it's not meshed by that logo there. So if you mesh it, it'll be like that. So right now what happened is this thing are 10% of this thing for the whole thing. So see, this is 10, this, let's say this is 100, and then this is 10, this is 10, this is 10. So what you can do is to make it smaller, always go to the value. So for the leading edge, it's still sharp, right? So how do you make it pointy, more round? So you smallen the, let's say like 5 maybe. If you smallen it, it turns rounder. If you smallen it again, it turns rounder again. It will be
Presenter.
oh, sorry. Ta-da. You want that. So you have the smooth face now. So that's okay. You don't have to change that anymore. Close that, because you just want it to give you a smooth surface. So you've done that. For the trailing edge right now you have that. You see that? That is fine, but you want a finer one. But then it's okay because it's only 1000. Because it's a base 1. So I'm guessing that is fine for this one. I'm just guessing it's fine because it looks like from not so big go to small. Okay, and that's fine. Actually, that's fine. Okay, and then you go for surface. For surface, it's the same thing. Values. What you want to see is, so you see this big thing. You don't want it to be smaller. You want it to be big, but then you want it to be to calculate more. So what you do is you control the prism layer, prism values, number of prism there. So number of prism there is now 2. 1, 2. There's only 2 prism layer there. So you want, usually people put like 15 on there. So when you do that, that's a 15. If you count until at the end there, it's a 15. But you don't want it to be that big. You want it smaller. So you go to there, relative size. This is 33.3. If you make it smaller, like maybe 15, half of it, it will reduce. Okay? So usually you want something like this. This is fine. This is basically okay. And your cell are only 3686 at base size of 1. That is fine. That is what you want. For me, this is the perfect size for perfect value for base size 1. So for the coursework, they will ask you to do something like changing this and then add cells of a higher cell, like say a higher cell 0.5. If you make it smaller, because just now was 1, then you put at 0.8. If you make it smaller,
So increase
the
the
cell,
cell.
yeah, the cell will be increased, and then your calculation will be accurate. So that's what you have to compare. You compare that until you get a perfect value and perfect size you want, and then that's what you can
How
compare.
I know this size is perfect?
Usually you do a validate. You do a validation. So what you do is you compare the cell size with the base size. So compare this base size of 0. You okay? Have it like 1, 0.8, 0.
Six.
Sorry, 0.9, 0.7, 0.6 until 0.1. Check the base size. Okay. Check the base size. So right now at 1 you have 3000 something. At 0.8 you have 4726. And then check, and then go on Excel, key on that, and then you should have a graph something like that. Something like that. It gives you like that. So it will give you say like that, and like that. So you see the size. Okay. 1, 0.9, 0.8, 0.7, 0.6 until 0.1. So this is this is 1. Okay. So let's say if this is 0.1 and then let's say this is 0.2 and 0.3. So let's say 0.4 and blah 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 until 0.1. Let's say you want to look at something that are already on this straight line. On this straight line it says that it's like that's the state where it's all okay, it's all already on the straight line. Give you okay, how do you want to check? It's 0.1 is okay, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. Right now that you know that 0.4 until 0.1 is okay, these 4 are okay, but which one you want to choose? I would suggest you to choose this one because that one have a smaller cell size. Small cell size. Why do you want a small cell size? When you run this thing, you want something that are smaller in cell. No, a bigger, actually bigger cell size. So this is small cell size. This is bigger cell size because every time you go there, it's smaller, right? So you want a bigger cell size because that when you run this, the computer doesn't have to go so deep into it. So because you have a smaller cell size, it will count every piece of it, and it will take time. So you want a bigger cell size, you choose the 0.4.
The middle, the small stone, right?
Yeah.
0.4 in the middle.
Yeah, you want a bigger cell.
Okay, the bigger. The bigger. Okay. Fine.
Sorry, bigger base size, smaller cell. Bigger base size, small cell. So you want that. Let's say when you do 1 to 0.1, you want this. So let's say the straight line is 0.4, 0.3, 0.2, 0.1. So you want the 0.4, the one that are more with this size. So that's okay. So right now you just play around with the base size, find one by one, and you collect this. You do one